cut to the chase. You want 2025 to be your year, to be the year where you accomplish the most, where you grow the most, where you change the most, where you achieve those goals that you've set throughout all these years that's already passed, man. 2024, 23, 22, 21. Damn, it's even crazy thinking about it. 2020 now, 5 years. But look, if you haven't achieved all those things you've set in these previous years either, I want you to first take a step back and really think about the last years, and don't think about them all as a waste, because if you do, it will put you already in a bad mindset, because you feel like you wasted so much time, potential, opportunities, whatever the case may be. And the thing is, you kind of did, right? But it does you no good now. You know what I mean? Now we're in this new year, so all you can do is look back on those last couple years, learn from them, and grow. And by that I mean, think back on an opportunity or something, and it could be simple, man. It could have just been like, I was lazy, I didn't put in the work I should have put in. And it could really be that simple. Or it could be a little bit more complicated, like, oh, you know what, my household had these issues and I let them affect me in this way, which is natural, and when they affected me, it kind of threw me off balance and made me not focus on much on myself, and this and that and this and that. You see what I'm saying? Like, think back on all those times and try to learn and grow from it, and try to find a way to approach those situations or issues in a way that doesn't prevent you from putting in the work you want to put in. And that first step of looking back at these previous years and trying to learn and grow for them is very complicated, because everyone has a different situation. There's different things involved, different feelings, things. So this is really a personal thing that you have to go back to, think about, try to learn from it and grow from it. And there will be examples in my life that I put out here in these videos as time goes on, and some of y'all might be able to relate with them, some of y'all might not be able to, but it might be helpful, it might not be, but that it'll be there eventually as I learn and grow myself, you know. But besides that, consistency will be the best friend you need, the best friend you should have, and that's really the most important thing, I feel like, going into this year, for myself at least. Consistency. Because with the consistency and the discipline, those two things, they're kind of the same thing. But look, without it, you will fall off that horse and you will not be able to get back up if you're not consistent. And by that I mean, we're all going to have these bad days, we're all going to have the good days. But as long as you're putting in work on either one of those days, you will be better for it in the long run. Because if you're only putting in work in the good days, and it sounds so simple and it's easy, but like, think back on these last years, man. I can think back on it now. These last years, whenever I got into a bad mindset, a bad energy, or whatever the case may be, I started BSing. I stopped doing the things I wanted to do. Not even that I wanted to do, but I stopped pursuing my personal goals, and I let that mindset, let those feelings get in the way of that. But it's hard, but it's something that I've realized this last year especially, that really held me back from that. Instead of being consistent in those hard times, I gave in, I stopped working, and it made me feel worse for it. So going into this next year, I'm saying, if you want this really to be your year, you see what I'm saying? Like, look back at the years and see what held you back from achieving the things you wanted to achieve, or stopped you from working towards the things you wanted to work towards. And once you do that and come up with a little plan, you'll find it easier to go into this next year, instead of just kind of going into it blindly and then falling into those same cycles, same traps, whatever you want to refer to them as. But consistency will be your best friend during the good times, during the bad times. And that's where the discipline comes in. And that's where you're really going to be tested, because I'm telling you, you fall off that horse, you get into that hole, it's going to be hard to come out of it. It's going to feel like you're wasting time, doing the wrong thing, wrong approach, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, if you're consistent, even through the bad times, looking back at the year, you'll be like, you know what? It was a hard one. But I stayed consistent. I worked towards it. I worked towards this goal I had. And you'll see that you're closer to it than you realize. Other things that will make this the year you want your life to change. Throw the vices away. If you have any addictions, any things you give in to easily, do what you can to avoid falling into those. Whether it be get some professional help, seek some help out wherever you can, or most of us are just gonna be having ourselves. So you gotta find a way to let go of some of those things and find a better outlet for it. And that's very personal and very hard in a way. For example, for me, it was hard, man, because going out of high school, I was always like a kind of, I always had a problem with what's it called, pornography, right? And going out of high school, I just wanted to quit it, right? So then out of high school, I picked up smoking, and I smoked for like 4 months straight. I got lazy. I quit my job. I did a bunch of BS. I gained a lot of weight. And then an incident happened that put me in check, I guess you could say, right? And after that incident, I quit it like that, boom. And honestly, it's because I don't know, because I don't think it's because my parents always told me like, oh, don't do drugs, don't do this, don't do this. So always in the back of my mind was like, I shouldn't be doing this, but like I gave into it just because I was in a bad spot at that time, leaving high school. But I gave it up, stopped smoking, but then I still had to wait. So then I stopped eating as much because I got a job at the post office actually. So I was always walking, so I lost that weight. But in doing so, I picked up my porn addiction again because I didn't have a vice and I didn't know how to deal with the feeling I was feeling day to day. So I always had a little vice, whether it be food. For those 4 months, it was weed or pornography. And right now, I'm back on the food. I'll be honest with y'all. I've been eating too much, especially chips, and it takes a toll on you, and you feel bad doing it every time. So letting go of these vices in this new year in a healthy way, in the best way for you, is very important for this year to be the year you want to change. Besides that is letting go of bad energy, bad people, or whatever the case may be. And in some of these cases, they may be loved ones, and it's going to be very hard, but it's very necessary for yourself and for them. Because they might be doing harm to you, but you might be doing the same type of harm to them. And that's like where it gets really difficult, because you know you don't want to be doing this, but you might be doing it just because of the way you currently are or in the position you are. Because if you're not feeling your best, you're not going to be your best with the people in your life. And it's going to take a toll on them as much as it takes a toll on you. And it's very hard, but it's something that you have to take to the chin, deal with. And of course they can help you, but it's not their burden to bear. Especially if you're making them feel worse for it. You know what I mean? So either take it to the chin, do what you gotta do, and then introduce yourself back to them. You know what I'm saying? In the right way, in the way you want. Because you know you don't want to be out here making people feel bad. You know all this. The geese are going crazy. It's a war out there. But there's all these little things that will help you make this the year where you change your life and your family's life. And those are the couple things that I can think off the top of my head right now to really make this the year you want it to be. And these are personal things of my own that I'm taking into account, and I'm gonna change and try to make this the year that I want it to be. But it will take sacrifices, it will take time, and have that patience and have that mindset and protect it. So stay away from the negativity, whether it be from you or from others. And that's very difficult, but you gotta find that outlet where it lets you come out here, go for a drive, walk, play some video games to a respectable amount, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're playing every day and putting your goals aside to just play, that's not helpful. You get what I'm saying? But you gotta do all these little things, and it's not gonna be the most pleasant ride, but at the end of the year, if you stick with it and you really work towards those goals and try to avoid the unnecessary stuff and try to let go of the things you need to let go of and grow in the things you need to grow, learn with what you need to learn, you will reach the end of the year and look back at this time where, like, right now I feel like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what will work, but that's just my negative side. But in my good side, I'm thinking, like, you know what, I want to pursue this. I have these little goals right here. I have this big goal. I have this. Let me work towards that. And I'm going to. But right now I do feel like I don't know what I'm gonna do, in a sense, and like it's gonna be hard. But that's just because I'm right here, day one. You know what I'm saying? January 1st today. This will probably be posted on the 3rd, I'm guessing. But just stay consistent. Take into consideration what I said. Leave anything down below you want to leave to the people. But make this the year where you change everything, man. It's gonna be hard, but you can do it. Take care.